Hello everyone, welcome. It's Alicia here at Cosmic Gateway. This is the October energy update and intuitive insight guidance. I'm super excited to bring this one through. I hope that you're in a relaxed position, you've got a good cup of tea or beverage of choice, and sit down and journey with me. There's a lot to unpack. And as I sat down to do this recording, first couple of things. I'm so happy to see the back end of September. As I record this, it's actually the final day of September. It's the 30th of September. So tomorrow is the 1st of October, but I have been feeling the incremental waves of October coming in for a little bit. And so right now, as I record this, there's still the interweaving thread of the two-tone, and September feels like a door that I just want to shut and never reopen. As a matter of fact, while I was doing the artwork, which I'll go into a little bit more of an explanation, I had done one particular piece of art, and I kind of looked, I was like, that doesn't, no, just no. So I painted over the top of it, and I was trying to like do it again and again, and then this morning as I was finishing off the artwork, I was in the bathroom and I heard so clearly, you have to like start again. You can't reuse that. And when I looked at it, I kind of laughed because I was like, oh, that's the energy of September. It was death and rebirth, but I don't want to, I'm done with that. I'm good. I'm happy to shut the door and continue on to where we're going. So that's the first thing that sort of came through. And the second thing is, wow, October just feels incredibly expansive. And as soon as I sat down, I literally heard the words whispered in my ear on repeat: something cosmic is coming, something cosmic is coming, something galactic is coming. So I feel that the frequencies that have already started to come through, part of the theme, and there's many themes, is a very cosmic frequency coming through for it's beginning in October and will continue through to the rest of the year. And I don't know about you guys, but I haven't felt this level of excitement or anticipation of what's coming next in quite some time. It's really, as I said, it's uplifting, it's elevating, it's inspiring, it's a change, it's a welcome change that I think we all almost can rest in, because the intensity of not just September, but where we've kind of been moving through this year and even going further back, there's been these harsh density intensities that we've been riding through, and it feels like October has a safe and comfortable, soothing kind of landing. It's almost like the feeling that I get is like being wrapped up in like cloud energy of like, oh, I can actually take a breath. I can actually rest. I can feel myself. I can feel my heart. I can feel the connection to my soul. And from that point on, like everything else can start to become renewed. There's a real renewal. And yes, in the Southern Hemisphere, we are kind of moving into spring, and spring is my favorite time of year. So it is that really fresh kind of renewal, rejuvenation sense. It feels quite inspiring. So let's go through, there's quite a few themes that are coming through. I don't know if I will get through everything, but part of what I endeavor to do is a lot more regular, perhaps smaller, if they're audio or video updates. And I have had the call very loudly in the last week that I not need to, but I feel the call to be more present on here on YouTube and also on social media in general. So what I was told, there's two components, and I'll put my contact details, my email address in the description. So first of all, I feel the call to start to create more interview content again. It's been a while. The reason for the pause is I have been looking for something quite specific and not really knowing or understanding what it is that I was looking for. As I've mentioned many, many times, I've gone through, in the last 18 months to 2 years, have gone through such a big process within myself that I have been utilizing this time to understand it, to come into awareness of it, to be able to unpack it, to use it or utilize it in some way. And the first big breakthrough that I've had with that is the quantum merging session. So just putting it out there, if you want to connect with me through the quantum merging sessions, those sessions and all other sessions, but those sessions are available. They are long, they are comprehensive, they are intensive, they are catalysts for change, and they have a lot, there's a lot of components to them. So from them and from other sessions, I'm actually working on a writing project in the background. I have felt the call that's come in over a month, and I'm utilizing a lot of information through client sessions, with obviously consent, but the interesting information that I feel will be relevant, that is helpful for other people to learn and understand from. So this writing project's kind of like percolating in the background. So there's a two-part to this. If you do and come and book and have a quantum session or another session, I tend to deal with very unique and multi-layered aspects of what someone's moving through in their transformation. My work, if you're not familiar with it, is a combination of intuitive guidance and energetic support to kind of give the two-part process of what I believe we need to go through: clarity and alignment. But I also, through my intuitive insight and psychic abilities, I learn a lot of incredible things through my client sessions, and I'm so grateful. And so what I've been asked to do is compile this in like a manuscript writing project. I'll share more as it comes more to the forefront, but you may get approached, or maybe a discussion through a session, if I can utilize some of the information that's come through the session, obviously blanking out personal details and things like that, leaving people's private life and confidentiality, but if there is a greater message to be shared. So that's one component to it. The second component to it is I have finally understood what it is the content that I'm looking to bring forward in the format of doing more interviews, and more podcasts. And that is, I'm looking for really, really fascinating, very unique stories. Ones that could be involved, or around the themes of, I should say, parallel lives, timeline jumps, quantum immortality, like huge quantum jumps that people have gone through, experiences that have completely changed them, miraculous healing. So yeah, big timeline things, cosmic awakenings, cosmic contact experiences that have been profound and life-changing. More so of the actual contact experience, not so much the channeling, if that makes sense. It's more about these sort of complete physical embodiment changes, and also secret space program related content. There's a big theme emerging, and I'm getting very excited about it. So I want to be able to bring more of that content to the forefront. So if you have had some, and of course, like the cosmic awakenings, bridging into, like literally popping into new earth reality experience, something that is not a common share perhaps in the spiritual content that's out there, in the conscious content that's out there. I really want to kind of be in this evolutionary jump of being able to share personal stories, but also to paint it almost feels like painting the archetype or the blueprint of this new space and trajectory that opened up back in July of where we're heading into. And that's part of what I feel is emerging through October, is like the close of the spiritual paradigm as we've known it. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there who have never spoken or shared their experiences that are powerful and impactful, that will start to pop up and emerge, that is kind of spearheading or being a front runner in some way of the new ways that we are going through this adaptation of this new reality that's literally interfacing, and what that looks like in the human experience. So if that makes sense and you feel the call, my email will be in the description box below. The second part is, I was also told that throughout October to address people's questions. So if you have a question and you would like some insight or some specific information that would be helpful around any topic, really, what I do is I look at a certain situation and break it down from the energetics, and through that answers, information, and like transformation can occur. So if you have any question perhaps that you would come to for a session, or something that's been on your mind, you can't get the answer for it, what I ask is it could be personal, but I want to make it generic and relevant, that it could be applicable for many people. And I want to do a bit of a cosmic Q&A in short format, either videos or written posts that are answering people's questions. So if you want to write in some questions throughout October, I'm going to scatter through in the content that I'm bringing to life, answering people's questions that are going to be helpful for the collective experience. Because as many of you would know, when one person's going through something, there's a common theme throughout the collective. So when one person gets the answer, everyone can, benefit from getting an answer that might just give them the energy code of the aha moment. So anyway, that was very long-winded, but if you fall into any of those categories, please, I'd love to hear from you. My email address is in the description box. And it feels like, and I feel like there's a lot of changing, there's a lot of preparation that I've been going through for my work to change, and this feels like just the tip of the iceberg in terms of how things are opening up and unraveling and unfolding. So that all feels very, very exciting, and I look forward to sharing more and more with you as we unfold. So let's come back to October and the energies of October. September was like the death and rebirth and the initiation, the timeline split within us to make better choices. It's like, which way you're going, and it's like what I've been shown now is, if we not accept the challenge, but yeah, you could look at it like that, we're accepting that higher path that's being offered to us by making the daily choices. Connecting into that frequency is very uplifting, motivating, inspiring, and to me it feels very, very cosmic. And I think we all have this up-leveling accessibility that's coming our way, and I just see it as this explosion of light. If I was to look into the energetic color of October, it's very gold. There's a lot of gold energy that's been coming through. I equate the gold energy to the sun energy, so we've had a lot of upbeat solar flare activities. Stereotypical, just in my own observations, October always seems to be, for some reason, a month where there's a lot of solar activity. And that's connected to the masculine energy aspect, or the masculine principle is how it keeps coming through to me. This has been And I feel like this is the theme that's kicking off, is this masculine energy awakening, re-emerging, activating. It's almost like a reversal. There was another word that was coming through and I can't quite grasp it right now, but it's like the pure divine masculine energy template that's coming back online. It's being restored. Thank you. And when I talk about this, you might have a lot of aha, but essentially I want to paint the bigger picture. So for me, it's been all about processing in and understanding the masculine energy template. For other people, it could be the exact same process, but more of the feminine aspect. Because I feel through the month of October and November, there is this huge energy of masculine and feminine recalibration, integration, merging that's happening within us. And that is the most powerful and palpable energy that can be available on this planet. That is literally the energy that creates miraculous or miracles, miraculous events, circumstances, situations. It's what drives the new earth reality into physicality. So that's what I'm sort of sensing, and it feels very cosmically heavenly driven. So coming back to the masculine principle, these words that drop in, okay, the masculine energy. Now I'm just simply referring to energy. We all hold both polarities within us. I'm not specifically speaking to men. I'm talking about a masculine energy. That re-emerging and reawakening, I've always seen that as, and I've probably shared this many, many times, when the masculine energy, which is the physical principle, kind of reactivates, reemerges, that's where we see the most change in the collective on a physical, tangible level. So that's a part where I get excited, because I'm like, I can see this energy template and what it's doing. It's come to me over the last week. I've been watching it. I've been working with it. I've been working with it in myself. And I'm like, oh, when this energy lands and grounds, like that's when we're going to see, like, it's almost like the domino effect in the collective field of, and it could look like anything. It could be scattered and chaotic, but it's progress. It's very quick, fast progress in the positive direction of the new earth reality that we're all terraforming together collectively. But this masculine energy that I had connected with felt very displaced, wounded. Yeah, I'll say toxic or poisoned, disheveled, heartbroken, kind of disconnected. And there was a couple of processes, and I wrote about this. You may have seen that image that I used about literally like one half of the body in the new earth timeline and the other part in the matrix. And that's literally what it has felt like, kind of moving through September. It's been very pronounced that it's like one half of the body is operating in the new frequency. So it's like the internal merging that wants to complete that process of like embodying the truest version of ourselves. So I was called into this energetic process after kind of there was a lot of releasing, a lot of purification through September on all levels. And then I had been pondering, kind of looking into the external reality and also into the physicality of my body and the process of transformation that's occurring as we awaken this cosmic self. If you haven't heard me talk about that, that's in some of the previous videos. I literally got this. It's all related to masculine energy. Everything that you're observing in your reality, everything that you're experiencing in your body, it ties into masculine energy. And it was like this aha moment. Yeah, of course. And so it was like the dialogue of my soul that said, how about you go and check in on your masculine as an archetype and energy to see how he's doing. And that might give you some revelations or insights. So just some context. Obviously, there are situations in my life that reflect a very masculine energy that I was kind of focused on or observing, but also inside of my body, the main things that are kind of flaring up is my entire right side. My entire left side feels fine. And also the stomach area, the stomach and the head, these parts of the body that have been going through this big clearing and, healing process as my body's trying to break down the old template, bring the new one online. So I go into this meditation and I literally saw this, what I just described in all those words. That's how the masculine aspect of me looked. And as I was tuning in and watching and witnessing this kind of soul journey that I was taken upon, I realized that I was seeing into maybe a micro macro representation. Like it was bigger than, greater than me, but I'm connected to the energy. Now, through this, I found it really fascinating because so many people that I have spoken to have also had physical ailments all happening on the right side of the body. And then speaking to some other people and they're going through the same thing, but it's all the left side. So going back to what I was saying in the beginning, you may be going through this, but it could be very feminine energy based and related. So if the masculine component doesn't resonate, have a look at how it breaks down or it looks to you. And you may categorize it in something completely different. But as I'm sharing this, I'm hoping that that's going to help put some context around whatever transformational process. So when I tuned in, I was like, oh, it's like my heart broke. I was like, oh my goodness, like there's this beautiful masculine being that is just completely devastated and kind of useless. He's not in action. He's not in strength. He's not empowered. And I started to work with him as I would do working on a client, starting to unravel all the different components that are blocked and not working, and bringing more light in and doing this. Almost felt like a decompression, unraveling process. And every time I was removing, whether it be implants or cords or blockages, there was a story to each one of them. And it was just this story that unraveled and unraveled. It was like in a lot of the core energy centers was these huge traumas of end of times, end of days, fear, loss, grief, like all these hardships, heartbreaks, hardships, some of the toughest times that was just oozing and pouring out. And when I saw it in that context, there was so much compassion in that moment of like, oh wow, like we're really, whatever's happening in your life, if there is, I've always said this, whatever's happening in your life, is there's an overactive response to it, there's a much deeper seated release point that's occurring than just what's happening on the surface level. And to me, it all came back and it was like, yeah, what's happening in my life is literally playing out oh man, some of the very first memories that I have as a soul, and then like of the golden era, the golden age, and then the corruption and that inverted system, like the darkness descending upon. And it was like, I feel like I'm literally playing out in real time the polar opposite of what has occurred to completely wrap up an entire soul's journey. This is epic. Like there's a new harmonic universe literally opening up and being available or accessed by those who choose to. So it's like this big completion, death, reap. It's enormous. Like I can't actually put words to how huge this process is obviously this is not just the month of October, but this is like September kicked it off, and now we're kind of like coming in and being able to like really start to access and work with the new that's becoming available. Whew. So that's where I feel like, because I can sense this energy coming in to land, to ground, to for individuals to harmonize and work with that template. It's literally all the original coding. And that's what I feel is coming online and being rebirthed when I talk about this cosmic aspect literally wanting to be embodied through us. We all have an individual, or many, it's not just one. We all carry these cosmic codes within us. And that is what is coming online through the month of October. It's like we're accessing the purity of those codes, that we can get the goodness from, the remembrance from, the abilities from, the unity expression from. But it feels like there's a bombarding of something's coming, cosmic energy ray, that's kind of this two-part process that kind of, it's like from within and out, and it's like boom, it creates this explosion of light, this cosmic activation. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's a huge surge in people going through awakenings, reawakenings, cosmic awakenings, remembrance. Like as we hit October, November, December, there's this uprising, like it's immense. It is, when I feel into the potency and power. So it's really reclaiming the power. And I want to share a story of a client session that probably is has the most potency to describe that. So this client session happened quite some time ago, but it's the one that keeps coming into my head as a reference point of like what's occurring now. So in the preparation for client sessions, I often feel or connect to the energy from the moment that the booking occurs, and more intensely sort of 24 or 12 hours prior. And then increasingly, as the session comes or connects in, sometimes I'm quite aware of it, and sometimes it's more subtle, depending on the potency of what's occurring. This one, literally the 2 hours in the lead up before the session, I felt something inside my stomach. I was like, what is going on? Like I felt nauseous. I felt like I was going to be sick. It was like the most intensive, palpable sensation in my stomach. And then as I got into the session, I was like, oh, okay. So I started to tune in and started to feel into what was going on. As I connected, my instant reaction was like, looking into what was occurring in the stomach area, the solar plexus area. And my initial thing was, oh, that's an entity. Like I've got to do an entity removal, and then we can start, officially start the session. But the more I looked at it, I was like, no, it's not a being, but it just looked like this grotesque mess of like, I don't know, just think of like a hairball that's been coughed up, and it's just chaotic, like grossness of all different textures and colors. And the more I connected and went in, and I started pumping a frequency to kind of get a better look in, it started to unravel and clear. And what I was being shown was, underneath it all was the universal code that person had, which is like their entire soul blueprint. Not just this life, the entire soul blueprint of their entire soul journey that has been almost hidden, kept for safekeeping, because there's so much power and potency to that code that is literally being brought here for these times. the gunk that was like accumulated was all the trauma that had compiled through lifetime and lifetime and lifetime as a two-part process. It was like, yeah, there was compiled trauma that needed unraveling and working with and support, clearing. But it was also keeping it camouflaged and concealed so no one would know that it was there. And that's what I feel is like this two-tone, I feel like there's these codes that are unlocking in people or starting to get access to that. And it literally is the signature of the realization of who you are and why you're here, and the template to essentially access to get to enhance your life's experience that's completely in harmony and resonance or aligned with feeling and purpose. So that just kept that particular session, and sometimes I have these impactful sessions that are firmly implanted in my mind, and when they come back as a reference point, it's like, oh, I can see what's happening now. So on a human level, to unravel that kind of level of, we'll call it the camouflage, it's a lot of processing and sorting. It's a lot of unraveling or unlocking matrix programming, emotions, energetic patterns. So September felt like that. It was like, and I just want to extend my heart out to everyone, because we aren't fully out of that process. Even myself, I go into hours or a day of like this release and this unwind, but once it happens, wow, it feels amazing. And I think that's it's almost like a unity template or a divine conscious connection template that is like unlocking within each and every one of us. And I feel like once that comes into play, I have my own preconceived ideas, but a lot of it is like, don't even go there. Don't even try to project what that may look like in the physicality. Just work with the energy of it and be in awe of how it wants to land. So I might go into, so the redefining of the masculine energy, the returning of power, focus, and it's like reclaiming a level of authority, sense of self, and essentially just personal power. So that feels really good. That feels coming in, and with that there is the meeting and the merging and the connecting of the internal union. And I feel like there's different layers and steps and processes, and people are all working on different aspects and elements of it, but essentially for the next 3 months is a very condensed process of that. And I think that really ties in a lot with divine counterpart connections, relationships. September was a complete annihilation of evaluating relationships, transforming relationships, speaking up, assessing, reassessing. And so there's that's kind of working through for us to kind of dig in internally and deep of like, who am I? What is it that what am I bringing through? What is it that I desire on a personal level? What is it that is calling me forth? What is my next step and stage when it comes to relationships, romantic connections, collaborations, partnerships, families? It's like relationships on all levels is being upgraded, and sometimes that's an incredibly messy process, and sometimes we have to die, metaphorically, the old version of ourselves, and relationships have to die to the old version of themselves to be reborn again. Doesn't mean that they're gone forever. They just have to go through a process of death and rebirth. So there's a lot of those undertones and currents that are kind of working through. Okay, just having a look at my notes. Okay, yeah. Now, there's so many. Okay. And as I'm kind of talking and feeling into this energy and what I'm trying to explain, and I hope I'm doing a good enough job of trying to explain. I know that it's enormous. It's hard to kind of quantify in language itself. So I hope you're actually just picking up the energetic essence of what I'm conveying. So the other part or aspect that I find absolutely fascinating, I touched upon this a little bit in one of my last updates, is this whole reference to the pods. I'm going to kind of flesh it out a little bit because I had this vision in the shower when I was preparing to record this. So I know this wants to be shared. And it ties into what I'm talking about. So the pods, there are different types of pods. I've talked often probably more about let's call them the benevolent pods, the healing pods, the ones that may have a resemblance to something like a medbed technology or like a float tank type scenario. I often see these on ships, and they are a positive, benevolent technology that allows people to utilize their consciousness going into different realities. Often people feel like there's an aspect of them on a ship that is like projecting their consciousness from there into this reality here. That is very much a thing. I've seen that a lot. But they're also used for healing. And, Maeve talked about it. It's like when I need that rest and rejuvenation, I'll go into my own personal healing pod and I can literally reset and recalibrate my body through that experience. And I love to facilitate those types of things. So they're the benevolent pods, just to make a distinction. Now, what I want to talk more about is what I call matrix pods. These are literally the reverse or the inverted of that. These are pods that quite literally matrix-like. And this has become more and more in my awareness in the last couple of years. I truly believe that is... So, okay, take this as a literal or a metaphor, however it lands for you. For me, I've seen it and it is very, very real. Matrix pods are literally a fractal aspect of us, some of us who are connected to this, that are in pods that are generating matrix power. They're used for quite benevolent purposes. They generate the power that then fuels the inverted matrix and the corrupt systems on this planet. They are not... Often they aren't, well, from one level of perspective, it's not a consented experience. But what I was shown today in the shower kind of flipped everything on its head. So it's just dependent on the level of conscious perception and whatever your experience kind of expresses to you. So these pods, I believe, and this has come through in quite a few sessions now, and I feel like this information is coming for a reason, because I truly believe, I feel so passionate about this. This is like literally what is the pinnacle of the whole global shift ascension process. The people that are their consciousnesses kept in pods are the most powerful players that we have. This very much ties into a lot of covert military programs, space programs. It's not limited to that, but I have been tracking and tracing and trying to unpack a lot of specific details to understand it. But essentially, the inability to fully access and land consistently your highest expression and timeline is one of the symptoms. Second is weird physical ailments, illnesses, sicknesses that have to do with the body, things like nervous system, especially related situations. I almost want to say like anything highly inflammatory, weird anomalies that can't be medically. So things like chronic pain, chronic or looping patterns, stuck in trauma patterns, looping. It literally feels like if you imagine like a matrix pod and an aspect of your consciousness that's in there, it's literally like taking the life force energy out that's fueling the system. So your aspect here that's not in that is connected to it via consciousness. It is a part of your consciousness. And as you're becoming more sensitive and more awakened, you're actually feeling into the things that don't feel right. And it's part of the breaking free of that. So, and the waking up from that and unplugging and disconnecting. My work has been highly focused for the last couple of years of literally pulling the matrix cords and plugs out of people, the energetic cords that bind us into looping patterns, and unlocking those types of things. And I feel so passionate about it because it's like the more we can work with our own process to be able to unplug and disconnect entirely from that system, the more we have access to the reality that we're creating, right? That we all know and have tapped into at times, that we know that we're creating, that exists in its purest form. So it's like, take into consideration people en masse coming out of those, or completely disconnecting their consciousness or that fractal aspect of them, coming out of the pods and coming back, integrating into this experience now. That gives you so much more potency and power. It allows you to literally go from, oh, I can see my path, I'm working on it, and then having like 1,000 different initiations and like, oh, where did that, it's like you can literally step out of that and harmonize with what you've been working towards without having. Doesn't mean that it's going to be 100% perfect and you won't go through challenges. Sometimes they are absolutely necessary, but this is like the unnecessary, like over the top side swiping. And I'm sure you can all understand and relate. And being shut off, it's like people that go through, this is the other thing, and I've been through it many times. It's not, but this is like the thing. It's like go through massive expansion awakening and then just plateau out. So I went through this process of exploration or like research for myself, and I was like, if there was an aspect of myself in a pod, what would that look like? And the unhooking process. This I've been playing with for the last week, and it was literally like disentangling myself from that. The more I did that, the more calm I felt. The more I did that, the more I was able to support my body better. The more I did that, the more life force energy that came back into me. The more I did that, the more inspiration came back. And I was like, wow, this is like such an incredible process. So through one of the sessions that came through specifically, it was talking about a huge number of people who have been in that are now being released. And I think that's where it ties into. And then there's other perhaps scheduled release dates or points that is allowing these powerful souls that have a powerful purpose and mission to reintegrate within themselves and to really start to create like the ripple of change. So the vision that I was shown in the shower, because some of the information that's come to me is like, well, how, questions of, well, how does that happen? and it's quite actually simple. There's a interception that happens in the womb, and this I've seen in many different ways. It's like as the conception of light occurs, as a bright soul comes into incarnation, there is like almost like this it's like, if you imagine, it's like literally a light just diving into a web, a matrix grid system. And so there's like they're literally being tracked and traced. And that's where this can take place in a myriad of different ways. And I think it's all connected through the various different sessions that I've seen this concept. Taken a portion of the consciousness and literally put it into a pod, into a gestation. Some of these are on Earth, some are off Earth, different parallel existences or other planetary bodies. It's a very vast mechanic system that is in the process of literal deconstruction. I would have talked about this like probably a little bit earlier in the year, maybe 6 months ago, but so much more information is like streaming through. So it's quite exciting because it's like we're literally hacking and breaking through and breaking free. What comes in is obviously the energetic cords, but it's the technology and it's the implants that impact us because there's a direct connection, right? And I feel like these matrix pods have this component to also be able to fractal consciousness into other like darker timeline realities. And that's where you might have bleed through come through in dream space when you have those horrific dreams. I feel like there's a direct correlation with that. So that, yeah, as you can see, I'm just like, there's a lot of data and information, and not, I wouldn't say complete conclusions of it all, but there's certainly a lot of ahas and a lot of making things, joining the dots, making sense. So, sorry, I'm being sidetracked. The vision that I saw was literally a soul coming in and going into these pods, and this feels more underground. Human having the experience connected to the higher aspect or galactic self, and it's like these two, when the exact moment occurs, it's like this part on the highest level of soul level knew it was going to get captured or caught or fractaled and placed into a pod, and part of that was to like literally work as, I know that at a certain time I'm going to break free of this, and it's actually going to put a crack in the entire corrupt system. And that's what it feels like it's happening, is like as people are being released from the pods, it's like making these explosions of light that are cracking the whole template of that system, coming back and re-immersing and becoming that unified version of self. So it's a bit of a picture I painted. I hope that you've traveled or journeyed with me and got what you needed to from what I have to share. It's huge what's going on. So what I would say in summary is like, be gentle with yourself. Seek support if you need it from myself or another practitioner or someone that you feel can support you the best. We can't do these things on our own. We're more powerful. We're a lot more powerful when we're united and connected and supported. If it looks like that and you need that one-on-one support or mentoring or, connecting with friends, connecting with like-minded community, might be deeper levels of connection with self, immersed in nature, all those things. And if you really want to utilize this time period, this window that we're at, like switch off the devices as much as possible. Play music, play frequency sounds. Don't over immerse yourself in too much information and content, because let's face it, there's just so much out there that just creates a static confusion. Listen to what your soul wants to speak to you directly. And from there, you can never go wrong. So I think I'm going to wrap that up at this point. We'll go into the intuitive insight guidance. I hope that has helped. Obviously, there's so much more information that will be coming through. Yeah, so I made this note here. October is the inner union harmony. It may be a lot of insights and attuning with, there's a direct correlation to dream space attunement too, that is prepping for the November landing. And I'm going to show you the artwork. I thoroughly enjoyed the artwork. I'm going to show you in sequence so that you can choose. I'm going to do the format just a little bit differently. But I felt like as I was creating this artwork, it was literally telling the story of October in some sort of sequence. So I hope that you enjoy. We're going to dive into whatever intuitive insight guidance wants to come through. Okay. Yeah, I've just been prompted. I will be holding a Soul Connect, the second Soul Connect event on the 10th. I think it's a Friday. Yeah, Friday the 10th of October. I think it would be about 7 p.m. Melbourne, Australian Eastern Standard Time. So it is a place for people to come, connect and share, and I will be holding a guided activation energetic process or guided meditation activation. And this one feels very much around the topics that I've discussed. And this thing that I wrote down, I was like, oh, the return from exile, the Trinity merge. So I feel like we're kind of working through these themes of like the returning, whether that's of the masculine or the feminine or both, or the returning of self, returning of unity, and then there's this like Trinity merge energy that's kind of, and I feel like I'm going to be interweaving and threading these themes starting from this month over the course of the year. So whew, all right, let's get into it. I'm going to go through and hold up the different pieces of artwork, let you have a look into them and choose. And I'm going to share my story that I got from them in the interpretation. And then we'll get into the read. So as I pull these up, I want you just to take your time and choose which piece of artwork, A, B, or C, calls to you. And I'm just going to hold it there just for a little while so you can tune in and get what you need from the artwork and which one speaks to you before I go into my interpretation, because I don't want that to influence you at all, and I don't necessarily know if that will be the depiction of the readings until we get into them. So just feel in choosing A, B, or C. You may choose one more than others. There might be two that speak to you, and that's okay. Just feel in what's calling you. Okay, all right, so quick, make your choice. You might even put it in the comments section below. Now I feel like I want to share with you the information that came through as I was creating them, that kind of paints the story of how October is unfolding into November. So this one came through first of all, and it was really apparent and really clear. And it came through with the name, the Golden Eclipse. And I see this as a masculine reemergence template that's coming to the forefront. It's being accessed, it's being harmonized, it's being utilized. And behind it is the shadow, the eclipse, the resurrection. This is like the like in the story I was talking about with the gunk, it's like that's being purified away, but it's actually been the catalyst for the process, for the renewal to resurface and come to the forefront, the reinstatement of power and knowledge and wisdom, and the reclaiming of self. So when we look through the story, the second is through that process, something new is starting to emerge. You can see here, oh, sorry, it's back. You can see here that there's like a slight sort of white emanation coming through. So the blackness is gone, it's become purified, and there is like this newness, like a rebirth or an emerging coming from within it that is being tapped into. And part of that is, you can see on the sides here, this is a lot of DNA encoding and upgrading that's sort of coming through. I had my first taste of this in physical embodiment form just yesterday. I literally had this pounding headache coming through on the once again on the right side of the body, and literally this is the coding that I was seeing coming through. And literally I was being told, just relax, because you're being completely rewired through the brain, through the consciousness, and it's completely recalibrating how your perception in seeing things moving forward. And I could feel it go from my head, and it went straight down through my body, my column. So this is the representation of the upgrading going through the body, and the upgrading of the codons, the DNA. And then we get to this, and this, when I was painting, it was like, oh, this is kind of more tapping into the energy that I feel is kind of we're moving through to get to for November. So this is the unification and the re-emergence, is like, if you want to look at it as yin and yang, or masculine, feminine, literally overlapping and creating a new geometry, a new sacred geometry that's emerging within, that's like a rebirth or something that's coming from within, from that unification, that internal unification that creates this. And you've got the external upgrading, the body embodiment aspect, which is, I see this as the miracle frequency, these combination of codes of color that then ripples through the fabric of reality. So that was kind of, pretty exciting, huh? That was what was coming through as I was creating the artwork. And I'm going to be super curious to see how it depicts as we go through these completely spontaneous readings and see what wants to come through. So let's dive in, shall we? Okay, we're back. So we're going to start off with card A, which will be the intuitive insight guidance. And yes, we have a special guest here. We have Parky, the cosmic dog. I often joke because he'll sometimes plonk himself right in prime position, and I joke and ask him if he's going to do a video or if he's going to do a session. So you might see an incorporation of a little bit of humor interjected in some of my work upcoming with our special guest here, Parky, Parky P, which stands for Parky Prince. It's a bit of an in-joke. He's Parky P from Series B, and he's here to elevate the collective consciousness through through animal companionship and humor. So be on the lookout for that coming through. And one of the other reasons why we have a thunderstorm that is coming through, and we're not very fond of thunderstorms. So yes, a little bit of an introduction to my beautiful companion here, and he's definitely here to bring some light and illumination and representing our beautiful fur babies all over the globe who are conscious cosmic beings in animal suits. So yeah, he's kind of telepathically in the last couple of days been sharing that he would like to be incorporated more. which kind of took me by surprise. So I'm not actually surprised that he's jumped up here and put himself on camera. So anyway, without further ado, let's get going. Going into image A, which will be this one here. If this is the one that you have chosen, this is going to be, oh, sorry, boy. Sorry, boy. Your one for this month. So let's get in. You're going to choose a card, Pucky? Oh, it's a clever boy. All right. I need 3 hands at this point. 2 to shuffle and 1 to pat, hey? All right. So I'm just going to tune in. Just as I was coming into that card, I felt like there's this process that is completing within. I can actually feel it as like an inner or internal dance or dialogue that is like unifying and connecting. It's almost like, I guess it's like the DNA coding going up through, but it's literally the loose ends that are coming into completion to create. There's a wrap up, there's a coming into completion, bringing it into an end. Things that are coming into the forefront or re-emerging themselves, re-emerging. It also feels like something that was put on the back burner, something that you had been working on perhaps as a project or a business or an idea or a concept, something that hasn't raised its head or kind of peered up and connected into your awareness as anything that needed attention or priority is kind of coming back around, but in its new evolved form. So it's like, it's like when you had that bright idea and you poured your heart into it, and it may have not lifted off, or it kind of, the idea fizzled or burnt out. Oh, yep. It was like the timing wasn't quite aligned because you had to go through some type of internal process. The word dishevelment, going through, clearing out the disheveled aspects, monetary concerns, like perhaps like a poverty consciousness thing, like base, okay. Literal kind of base level root chakra kind of safety, or like I don't feel confident being that full expression of myself. It's like it's interwoven in those types of themes. And it was interesting because I was like saying that the Hanged Man card was the first to pop up. This waiting, suspense, like will I, won't I, procrastination, even like just weighing up the pros and cons. And it's kind of like, whatever it was, this feels like I almost want to go back 5 years is what comes to me intuitively. It could be within the last 5 years. There's something to do with the last 5-year time frame or turnaround. And it's what's come through is there is wisdom of experience. So this could even be something that came through in a dream coming into fruition, because there's this cycle completion and re-emergence that's occurring. So that you had to kind of go through this phase of being able to culminate the wisdom of experience, the grace, that life wanted to gift to you. The it's very kind of, it's very white lady-ish. It has this very feminine energy to it. It's very etheric. It's very graceful, this energy that's coming through. That's the frequency that it comes through in. It's like this silk, almost this silk essence energy that kind of comes through it all. It might have some sort of cosmic connection. It could be an angelic freak. It's very soft and very, very gentle. So coming back to what I was saying is like it could have been a dream that had come through to you that had a certain potency or significant reference. It feels like now is the time that's sort of catalyzing that into fruition, into materialization, into forward motion or movement. So we've got these other two cards that are kind of paired here. We have the reflection card, so the Six of Cups, which can, like, this almost, like, I want to say auditing, evaluation, reflection, looking at past, I want to say past critical errors or past blips, past, interesting because it's like looking at the past and reflecting on it in terms of situations, circumstances, events, like very kind of external things that have happened, things that could have been done better or executed better. And how I'm getting the correlation is it's literally kind of merging those, like working with those versions of yourself over the last 5 or 6 years, perhaps, amalgamating them. It's like there's like a refinement process of like whatever the event was that took place and the aspect of yourself or the aspect of consciousness that you're operating. It's like there's an amalgamation of all of that that's bringing in the wisdom. Yeah, Parky agrees. And that's bringing potency and fuel to the fire, because then we've got the Chariot, the inspired warrior or warrioress, just movement forward that's like feels like it's dynamite. I know that I was saying that it was very etheric. That feels like the energy formation as it comes through, but it's like as it hits the ground running, it's like let's like explode into some type of action that's going to get like the wheels in motion, so to speak. Yeah, it's powerful. It's powerful. It feels inspired, passion, purpose led. It's like, yeah, connecting with that soul guidance of like what unique things do you have to bring and offer that is going to benefit yourself, your community, and the world at large. So it feels quite big and purposeful in that aspect or element. But as I was saying, I don't feel like it's a new aha, insight, download. It's something that has come to you, even if it's in the slightest way, sometime in the last 5 years. It's like the timing, the ripeness is like very acute for right now. Yeah, it's like what I forgot to kind of bring up in the energy report is like you are being prepared, but it's not you're being prepared now. You have been in this preparation, landing, priming mode for some time unknowingly, and it's like that process that may have felt unwavering, like quite daunting, grueling experiences at times, kind of coming into this paying off. Like all of it kind of makes sense, and it's like, you know, when you get to that point and you can look back and connect the dots, and it's like you have so much gratitude for those aspects of you that didn't understand, wasn't in the know. But it's, yeah, the first card that's like flung out there, we've got the heart chakra, and I think that's probably the pieces or the elements, aspects that's like the most important, that's coming back to you and online. It's like an unfurling back to love. It's coming back into that frequency of love, acceptance, self-acceptance, and like grace and ease, and reclaiming that divine flow of, yeah, it's like a dance. It feels like there's a lot of grace and movement to how it wants to kind of actualize or come into form. And it's really about like loving loving what you do. There's a dragonfly on there if that's a symbol or representation for anyone. Ooh. Gracious receptivity. So it's, being in that feminine flow, allowing to receive what is good for you, what is meant for you, what aligns to you, what is seeking you, that kind of movement coming in and through. And it could be connecting with the goddess within you, or working or utilizing that frequency may have been that missing element or aspect that like gets it all working and the ball rolling, so to speak. Oh, internal explorer. So I would say to be able to like connect with all this juicy goodness that's coming through, it's like really allow this time for you to be the independent explorer of your internal world. And it's like it's almost mapping from that place. It's like going into the heart and being able to map in and connect with all these, like the energy that I get from this is perhaps you're very analytical or someone who works a lot with the mind energy. This is like dropping into the heart space and looking at all the gems and jewels that it can give you, because it feels like you may have very harsh critic energy of yourself from the past or even present. Well, I guess we all do, but it's like coming into the heart, all of that softens and you actually see your true essence and beauty. And that is what emerges, and it feels like that's really part of that ingredient that is like needed or like a necessity to facilitate what's coming next. Like that's your secret ingredient. And it feels good. Like everything about it just feels good. Radical expansion. Yep. So it's like, are you ready for this like unfolding, radical expansion of self that is like literally intertwined with this creation energy or whatever it is that you're like birthing, so to speak, into the world? Because it feels like it has potency and power to ignite others or collaborate with others potentially, but it's like, it's got a real wow factor. It's making me smile a lot. It's got a real wow factor to what wants to come through. I feel like that's enough of those cards. Excuse me, Parky. This is a first for me. I'm doing a card with a dog on my lap. Okay. Little children. Okay, so we've got the creative element and aspect, being able to express yourself as though a child would, in that very playful, childlike way, where you don't have the adult inhibitions of like judgments. It's like that literally feels like that's what's occurring. It's like the dropping of judgment, of self-judgment, of caring what people think, of not allowing that energy. It's like you're so immersed in what's happening in your internal world, what you're creating, the vision, the exploration, like building your empire essentially, is that you've built up such a strong kind of sphere of energy around you that anything else that's happening in the external world, you're unshakable. Whatever like anyone else think or say, or it's not even coming close to like hitting the sides. That's a big part of what is, because you're being called. Like there is a bigger purpose and mission that may not be necessarily revealed to you, but this process of radical expansion And what is occurring through this is literally taking you to the messenger. And so the messenger is the one that has the message that speaks clearly, concisely, that broadcasts a message to the world, that reaches, around the world. Essentially, it's like I see this image of like a trumpet that like ripples this vibrational energy, through their voice, through what they have to share, through their creative expression. It has a ripple effect globally, like collective consciousness. So it's like that calling you may not necessarily be privy to in the specific details, but it's like, whoa, watch this space, because this is where you're like leveling into through this process. And this feels like it kicks off in October and just continues to expand quite rapidly, and with this air of grace. So I think I'm actually going to leave that here for the moment. I hope that helps or resonates. Of course, please connect with me if you would like to have a one-on-one session or anything that I have on offer. All the details will be in the description box below. If not, I will connect with you in the next video. All right. Awesome. So let's move into B. So if you chose this artwork, image B, let's dive in and see what wants to come through. Okay, let me just tune into that and see. Sorry. If you haven't watched the first part, I do have my little cosmic dog companion here, and as his energy is kind of scrambling, I'm gonna have to put him out of my field, because as soon as I tuned into it, all I could see was like dogs and dog language. He's obviously asleep, so just gonna give me a second while I just push him out of my field and just tune back into this image. Okay. This is heart up energy. I literally feel from the heart to the throat, and almost like this pulling up, like look up, connect up, like everything. It's like stop looking down. It's like everything is up, or everything is concentrated in this upward rising position. It's almost like look up at the stars, connect with the stars. Turn towards the sun. It's like very sky. There's something like, make sure you attune and connecting into the sky energy. There's a lot to, okay, now the picture's unfolding. There's a lot to connect with, incoming, receiving energies, patterns, geometries, codes. I literally see this downpouring of like energetic codes. So it's like making sure that you're connecting at the times, and it's very, very simple. It's like when you get the call to like go and look up at the stars, go and do it. Like there's a message, there's energy, there's activation that's coming through for you. If it's during the day, like whenever it is, it's like listen to your body and the prompts and the internal prompts and guidance, because it's like this feels very physical and movement. It's like taking you to the exact location and places and spaces that you need. Okay, I'm just gonna. Okay, so there's a decompression that's occurring. So we've got the Judgment card, so letting or putting the past to rest, and this feels like deep healing, rejuvenation that's occurring during the sleep phase. And then we've got the anxiety and stress. So we've got the Nine of Swords. So it's like let it's like let all that go. And I think what I was explaining just before of like being able to go outside and like connect with nature or the stars, the sun, that is going to help exponentially in just rebalancing your nervous system, rebalancing whatever you've been through. There feels like this, like, yeah, it's been like brutal. Like, I just need this pocket of space to recharge. Yeah, it's a recharge. So we've got the Four of Wands, recharge your hopes. It's like you get to receive the inspiration. Sorry, I'll show the other cards. We've got the Judgment card. So I was, putting the past to rest. And literally, like, I was really focused in on this being like resting on the staircase. It feels like, and that's like the deep sleep, rest, body waking up, feeling restored, renewed. So ask for that when you go to bed at night. Like, ask for the healing to come through, because it feels like a whole lot of energetic gunk just needs to be like wiped. And which is this, what you've been carrying, the anxiety and the stress. A lot of it probably doesn't even directly correlate to you or the circumstances, situations that you've been going through. It can be collective, it could be in relation to other people. But it's like all that has to go, because you need to recharge and bring back the hope, the optimism, the uplifting energy to be able to clearly look forward through to the future with clarity and inspiration. And yeah, giving yourself the ability to be able to properly rest and digest. Yeah, cool. So we've got two of coins. We've got the cash flow. So, oof. So a little bit more of flow of abundance and being able to juggle, but with grace and ease. Oh, it's so funny. I was thinking about that. We've got the 5, we've got the budget lessons. So that may have been part of this stress or anxiety going on. It may be around like material, may not be monetary, but like material aspects or elements. Like there feels like stressful situation. It feels like that's coming into has been resolved or coming into resolution. And it's like the more you rest and recharge, it's more like that thing just kind of resolves itself. It feels like there's a direct correlation to what your body needs, what your emotions need, what your, to like what is provided forward for you. So then we've got moving in, we've got the Fool card, because you're about to walk through the door of a new and different pathway that maybe you potentially haven't perceived or thought about. It feels like a bit of a wild card, like, ooh, like I didn't see that one coming, which has spontaneity, taking chances. It's like starting off on a whole new trajectory and journey. It's going to revitalize the senses, so to speak. It feels fun. It feels exploration. I'm literally looking at like walking through nature, like really pretty nature spaces and jungles. That might be through your mind. It might be through vision quests. But it feels like nature is very supportive and soothing for you. Ooh, okay. So we've got endless opportunities. This is a real dreamer card. I almost feel like take this time this month to give yourself the permission to dream, to daydream, to wonder, to be in awe, to work with let's say, the more positive aspect and element of your mental capacity in its like what it was designed to do, in that creational mindset of like being able to expand the mind. That we have behind that the crown chakra, the unlimited self, feels like it's like part of the remedy for you. It feels very etheric, feels very like being in that space of receiving, like as well as it's like, yeah, receiving the downloads, the inspiration, the energy that's connected to it, that's going to like harmonize you in whatever you've been through, kind of rebalance you, and then like it's like this wild card trajectory just opens up. Okay. Yeah, evolution. Oh, and we've got the gracious receptivity again. We've got infinite. Wow, okay, so there's real influx or flow of receiving, abundance, wholeness, unity, balance, healing. It feels like, and I almost want to say, like, as we, not so much around midway point, maybe this side of midway point, it feels like an influx of receiving exactly what you need, what you want, what you've been looking for, what you didn't know that you needed, perhaps. There's balance that's coming in, like the balance, alignment and force that kind of, yeah, it's like an attunement. It's a very fine attuning or attunement. This is very connected to self. And it's like once that part's been able to like reestablish itself, everything else kind of works itself out essentially. It's like you're the pinnacle or the center point, the central point of your entire universe essentially. Once you've kind of rebalanced and come back into wholeness, it's like all the things that you might have been stressed out about have the miraculous way of working themselves out. It's like letting the universe work for you, working smarter, not harder. All right, let's see what else wants to come through. Family. Heart and soul. Okay. So maybe the stresses are around family related matters. I feel like there's more meaning or significance. Got the cat, like the tree, the family tree here. Ancestral, perhaps. Unplugging from the ancestral family dynamics that could be creating stress or disharmony. Coming back to seeing it from that higher soul perspective really shines an illumination of a deeper level of understanding. Feels like there's overlays happening here. It's like it's almost like there's two different people in this particular, like groups of people in this. It's like one represents one. It's almost like the splitting. It's like the it's like two timelines that can essentially be like black and white, day and night. Kind of feel like two totally different versions of you. That like the dualistic nature of you is kind of coming back together again. Yeah, it's like a putting back together. So it literally feels like, yeah, putting yourself back together again is what's in the process of occurring. And in that you kind of jump, it's like this quantum jump merging like into the new version of self or like a new timeline. But there's definitely this ooh, okay. Ooh, okay, there's love. There's love. We've got sacred sexuality, we've got love, we've got so it might be a kindling or a spark of love frequency, union energy, romance. There's something that's so it could be like the coming together of the two people but it feels like a timeline convergence where one, let's say one is loveless or doesn't have love, or it's not we don't, but isn't connected to it, and the other one is, and there's like this coming together, emerging, but it feels internal, very heart-centered. It's like following the guidance and what comes through. A lot of creative energy in there. I feel like this month is going to be like from where you started to where you end. You're going to go through or feel like this process of an entirely new person. Feels expansive. It feels very, very expansive. And yeah, I just want to go back into that. There's the evolution, there's the endless opportunities. It's like, think big, don't limit yourself in any way. If there's limitations coming in, like check them, like literally like pull them out of the field, pull them out of your system. I feel like there's a message that wants to come through. I'm just kind of attuning into it. A lot of dragon energy kind of coming in and around. Yeah, just go within and listen to what wants to come through. This is quite a pivotal time for you. It's like endless or rapid expansion, endless possibilities. You've just got to believe in self and allow it to open up. So it's work with the magic. Don't worry about what the past has shown you, because that is laid to rest. All that hasn't come to fruition or has been hard or painful, it's like that's dissolving away, and it's like it's made you who you are today. Oh, it's very poetic, but it's like, yeah, it's like this, there is definitely like this divine inspiration of downloading information, quality information. So yeah, as the beginning, like look up, receive, be in flow. The first half to like it feels like complete radical transformation. So I'm going to leave that there. I hope that helps or kind of resonates with some of you, and wishing you a beautiful October. If you would like to connect with me, all the details will be in the description box below, and it would be a privilege. If not, I will see you in the next video. All right. Oh, that felt like I went on a journey. Okay, let's roll into Lucky Last. Oh, goodness. See if you've chosen this particular image here. Okay. All right. It's funny, I hear that song, Hit the Road Jack. I don't know where that's coming from. There's like that kind of era of music that's kind of playing. It's like quite bouncy and boppy. It's like, I feel like you're using music as a muse or a tool or an inspiration, or to get you going or get you kind of in the movement and flow straight off the bat is something that feels quite important, working with sound music to kind of sustain you or keep you in alignment or flow, and keeping you kind of, it's like it's the string that pulls you forward, keeps you in that momentum and movement. I'll start to shuffle the cards, see what else wants to come through. Yeah, I'm seeing forestry, a lot of green, like deep green, like emerald sort of green. So perhaps like a lot of healing, heart healing, especially. What's going on in the heart space? It's definitely, this feels very heart centric. It's like picking apart the heart in ways that you haven't before. It feels like a dissection, not literal, like metaphoric, emotional dissection. Reality check. When I say that, I don't mean in a bad way. It's like, yeah, checking in with the heart, looking at the different places and spaces that need attention to, that is a representation of your life, that helps bring more harmonization and joy, connectivity, or even just like even with self, or it's like listen to your heart. God, it's very musical oriented. There's a lot of music coming through. So pay attention to the lyrics and songs and messages that you might get through music, especially through this month. That's going to be powerful. But it's like, utilize your time well. Yeah, cool. To, if you can go in literally and connect with the heart and the communication and the dialogue that the heart wishes to express to you. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. We've got change, action. I love that. But to me, I was always taught with the Wheel of Fortune card, it's starting, it's like actioning, coming into closing. It's like the closing of one cycle, the entering into a new, and it's like whatever has been hard and heavy in the previous journey is light and advantageous. It's like you've mastered that, and then you get to walk into a new cycle where you take everything that you've learned, alchemized it, and like if the last phase has been hard, the next one is much easier, much more prosperous. It's like you receive the rewards that want to come through from the hard work that you've already put in or accomplished. So there's that element and aspect to it. Yeah, there's a lot of, it's like that green. That's like the colors that I'm seeing specifically. So yeah, checking with the heart. Test of courage, 5 of Wands, looking up. Feels like a test of courage, an act of faith. Maybe you're being through the dark. Oh, new love energy. Okay, cool. But new, that might be part of the courage of the dialogue, or connecting in with the heart, speaking to the heart, asking what the heart wants. It might mean overcoming barriers or limitations, or stepping out of your comfort zone, because it brings in new cup energy, new emotional support energy, love, a feeling of vibration, that pure heart activation vibration literally opens up doors and moves mountains. Doesn't have to be specific to a connection, although it could be, but it's just that frequency alone that literally feels like it is the game changer in opening the doors and the pathways. So utilize that correctly and wisely, and relish it for all it's worth in terms of what it gives you. That beautiful energy and new beginning. Yeah, okay. traditional nostalgia and reflection. That may be that sense of the connection and dialogue with the heart, looking back at the previous cycle. And actually, I'm going to bring this up because it caught my attention. You might have seen the ring that I'm wearing here. I don't know if I can get it in focus. It's really simple. It has two dog's paws, and this is like, as many of you, if you follow me, my beloved cosmic dogs, Luna and Ari, who went through their ascension process. This is the daily connection that I have with them, as like a, I hate to say it like that, but like a memorial ring. Yes, of course, because of the algorithms on social media, I got sucked in, but I do love it and I wear it. And it's like when I was looking at that nostalgia and reflection card, oh, there's emotion there. It's like being able to fondly reflect on the good times as well as what you've learned from the previous cycle. Don't see it all necessarily as like hard or grueling or however it played out for you. See the beauty and the balancing of it. I think it helps balance, bring in equilibrium or harmony or balance. It's like, oh, at 444, just as I look down, it solidifies by seeing the beauty of what has been, balances out and solidifies to bring wholeness, so that you can access the heart frequency of where that wants to move you to. Whew, okay, it's like, whew, there's a lot of energy and motion going on here that's like palpable healing and palpable creation that comes through the passageway of the heart. And I've always said literally access to new earth energies through the heart. So if the heart's not clear, the heart's processing stuff, we don't have a full dial-in access to our soul, our higher self, the new earth, the new version or aspect of us. Yeah, wisdom of experience. The six of wands. So we've got, what's that? We've got 5 and 6 of wands. So the test of courage and faith, and then we have the wisdom of experience. And like really see yourself as who you've become through diversity, adversity, animosity, through all of it. Like really look at the beauty of who you are and how that has literally, what's that quote that came to me years ago, and I love that. It's like it's what may feel soul destroying is actually soul redefining. It's not what breaks you, it's actually what makes you, is that kind of feeling here. It's like the rebirth, the reemergence energy that's coming through. It's so beautiful. It's really powerful, and it's really from the heart. It's not the head. The head needs to like dial down the tone a little bit. It's like very heart alchemy. Okay, so we've got cash flow again. Okay, so there's common threads throughout we've got the balancing of the two. I see that as two channels of income, perhaps. So it might be job, project, or like two streams of income that feel like one has been like you're consistent and one has been stagnant, and then it's like literally seeing it's pipes. It's like through this process they're clear, and then everything sort of opens up and flows when it comes to resources, materials, wealth or abundance, however that looks for you. Not necessarily monetary, could be in other ways, but it's very supportive on a material level. Let's say house, home, moving, even that type of element or aspect. Yeah, that might be key for some of you here. Moving home, moving direction. travel or exploration or holiday even, or planning, making plans or preparations. Oh, oof. But yeah, nurture and tend to the heart. The healing is like literally the pathway to where you're headed. I'm not going to pull from that deck anymore. That feels a bit done and scattered. We'll see what else wants to come through the Lemurian Beyond Lemuria decks. Whoa, what a journey it's been! If you're still here with me, it feels like it's been quite an epic show. Okay. All right. I have to say, in the last few days, my higher self is speaking very firmly and loud to me in terms of like, okay, do this now. So this might be to connect it to the message. It's like sometimes the higher self can be really subtle when we're going through periods of like transformation and like action oriented steps and stages. Sometimes I get the dialogue is like quite it's not harsh or judgmental, it's assertive. So it's like, okay, and it's like dialing in with the timing of things. So it's like you'll get this hit of like, okay, like as an example, I'm recording this video now and I literally just heard, make sure this is up and out by 8 o'clock tonight. I was like, oh, okay. So it's like, it's that assertive, but it's like just instructional. So be attuned to that, be aware of that, work with that. I feel that's going to be fruitful in the timing of things, where if it wasn't soul led in that capacity, it might not hit the money or the mark, so to speak. But it's like, if you listen to that wisdom, that guidance that comes through, that's loving, firm, but assertive, like that's going to hit the harmonic timing of things. Because I see it as a wheel or a spiral, and it's like you have to hit in the spokes out of like with precision. It's funny, these cards aren't I'll swap to the other cards, the Magdalene cards, and come back to the Leumeria cards because nothing's coming through. I'm just gonna have a sip of water because I'm starting to Purgatory. It's interesting because the words on the card and the actual image on the cards to me don't match. I'm actually going to read from that to me is an illumination. That looks like light body activation. That's like, you know what let's like take the words off from that. Sorry. That to me has this context of orbs floating, assessing. This is very non-physical, really curious energies or beings that are really helpful, almost feel connected to nature or geographical location, like circling, sphering, inputting. There's like an input to it. It's really interesting. Oh, okay. This is like working with the land, with nature, there's something going on. Okay, I'm just gonna like, all right. So this talks about the emotional ups and downs, the healing process that's like transforming or releasing what doesn't serve you. This is working with essentially golden light and violet flame energy to eradicate practices, like an eradication practice or process that is illuminating negative thought patterns or loops or like energetic imprints. What I'm getting from the actual message from that, just scanning it, is like your healing process of whatever's occurring. And once again, it comes back to the heart here. Like I can feel it. It doesn't have to be hard, heavy, and like drawn out. It can literally, it can be a radical transformational process. I feel like the choice is yours, and you can like work with the energies of it and the energies that are supporting and surrounding you. Like there's this curious check-in of like, it's literally three. I see them as orbs of light that are circling you, and it's like they're there to help facilitate. They may not come forward as anyone specific or anything like that. It's just this like, it's an attuning energy that may not even be so, you may not even be so aware of, but call upon it. Ask for the support and help, because it's certainly there to help facilitate whatever's transforming in your life from one cycle or phase into the next. Okay, we've got the decision card. Okay, there's interesting tones happening here. Decision card with the full moon. I actually haven't, I think the full moon's, I think it's in the first week, perhaps. This feels like, well, this card traditionally talks about having to make a decision, like a big life choice decision, and the contemplation process around it of like either choosing to do what is acceptable, choosing to do what is the easy, or choosing what is right for you, for your soul. And it's like, probably the latter is not the popular opinion amongst family or friends or relationships, but it's like essentially choosing right for you. Everyone else will understand in time, but it's like if you don't make the choice that is like the resonant one for you, there will be unsettled. It's like you're not choosing you. You're trying to keep the peace. So it's like that's the card, but it's like you already know the truth. You already know the answer, but it's like making the action step that needs to take place. Ooh, okay. Divine order. And it's so funny when I look at that card, like it feels very serious and like you have to make a choice, but it's like essentially each pathway reconnects itself to where you're heading anyway, or the destination. It's literally, it's kind of like a cosmic joke. So just to break down the seriousness of it all, it feels like the decision is literally just a simulation process that like once you make the decision, things kind of reorient themselves, and it's like not as intensive. It's like that process of going through making the decisions is literally what is needed to deconstruct or go through the inner process. Then it's like what you perceive on the outside of like choosing this, like going left or going right, or choosing this, is not really the big thing. It's the internal process that is the most important thing, or the most revealing thing, I should say. Just sit with it, because it's like there's this pause. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in my body right now, and I'm just trying to tune into what it's like, because I come back into what's happening in the heart, which is creating a lot of pressure and stress and tension that's like riding up through into my head and through my back and into various parts of the body. And it feels like whatever may be going on in the physical world or realm or the body or both is the origin point is like coming back into the heart. So it's like when you can work with that and sort that, everything else rebalances back. Yeah. And this may be new for you. Like you may have never done this before or gone to this level of depth before. And it feels like, to me, it feels like incredibly scary and very intimidating, but it's actually not. It's like once you get in there and do it, it's like, oh, okay, cool. And things, it's like, how do I say this? It's like the image that I'm getting is like, once you move through that threshold, you see it for what it was in terms of like the theatrics, the I hear that phrase, or commonly like quoted by Dolores Cannon, of like, it's all just a play. So it feels like whatever inner transformation or initiation, it's like everything absolutely always works out in the end, because at the end, like, the curtains drop away and the whole crew come and they reveal themselves, and they're whatever character or role they've played, they're all unified at the end, I guess. Essentially is like there is this, it's leading you towards unification. So don't get caught up in the polarizing duality of what the mind may want to show, because it's a big time of revelation for you. It's very revealing. It's very enlightening. It has this element or aspect of like the cosmic joke kind of to it. It's like, why was I so, denying or looking away or not, like it was so easy in the end. That's the feeling that I get with it. I made this big thing up, but actually it was like really straightforward. Okay. All right. I feel like we're wrapping or closing. No more cards are like jumping out. No. Okay. Let's go to the final wrap up of the Beyond Leumeria cards and see what wants to come through. Oh. Balance forces, yeah. It's essentially balance, equilibrium, unification. It's interesting because we had the full moon and then we got the new moon. So whatever period so it's like, yeah, the contrast of that time frame period. So I think it's like 7th, 8th to like around the early 20, let's say 21st, 22nd. That's at a guess. It's like that period of time is the most revealing in the revelation, and it's like you really get to restore the balance and like edge out of the intensity in the cycle and the renewal process. I just keep hearing the words, this is game change. This is a game changer for you. This is a real game changer. Doing things differently. And almost like a congratulations, like you did it, you're doing it, like just to really spur you on. It's like changing patterns, essentially. That's giving you this renewal of life and sense of like, okay. I don't know, there's this whole, like the cosmic joke. Like seeing things from the bigger perspective, like almost being able to like review your life, looking down from above, being able to see it all as it has played out up until this point, and like seeing the humor in it, and like, okay, well, let's like let's get on with it. Like, we've got work to do kind of thing. It's like, yeah, there's definitely a reviewing aspect. Ooh. So, okay. So this feels like what it's kind of setting up and preparing. We've got communication and co-creation. So we've got like the three beings there, or you've got the two beings that are creating the third Trinity energy, but the community being able to use your communication in whatever style or form or format in this co-creation energy that kind of maybe helps to start supporting or building a type of community or a project-based endeavor. There's something new on the horizon that you probably haven't even remotely considered that's coming through. Obviously that feels very cosmic and galactic in that, like, they're very, it's funny, like these are beings I've literally seen around me. I don't know what sort of origin. I mean, I know that these are Lemurian cards, so maybe it's a Lemurian aspect, but to me that feels very cosmically like a new contact of beings that haven't, yeah, or it could be that aspect of you coming into form, into physical. Cool. Oh, loving compassion. I feel like that's like the ultimate goal of where you get to, that very heart. It's like everything comes back into that grace and like that balance, like the precision, that, look at the, the imagery of the geometry there. It's like everything just comes into this alignment through love, through the heart, essentially. Very simplistically, it's not hard. Not hard. All right, let's get one more. Whew. Final card, please. Evolution. Okay, that card's come out before. It's great. Oh, we've got the DNA upgrading and encoding there. So an evolution of the version of you stepping out and all that comes with it. And I think when I feel into that, it's like what's awaiting for you. It's like you've had glimpses of it. So it's all those things that maybe have been running through your mind through this reading. It's like you're bridging or bursting through that threshold to receive, to embody, to embrace that version of you and all that is waiting, that is in relation to that. So I'm going to leave that there, wrap it up. If you would like to connect with me, I would love to connect with you. All the details will be in the description box below. If not, I look forward to connecting with you next video, and have an amazing October, and just sending so much love. All right, bye-bye.